Hey everyone, today what I'd like to look at are your knees and how we should obviously care for them, look after them to make sure that they last without any problems for your life, fundamentally. So first thing I'm going to suggest is kneel down every day. It brings the joint to its maximum position all the way back this way, and it allows you to create some lift and balances off the upper and lower legs. Now, you haven't got to go further than that because that's quite a nice position and keeps the knees in balance, but you can, if you want, take your bottom right down to the floor by bringing the feet out to the side. So this is okay, but you just need to make sure you keep your knees turning outwardly as you do that so you don't strain them or injure them in any way. One of the things I like to do is from here, put your hands on the floor to help lift the weight, roll over your toes, come up to Uttanasana forward bend, come to standing, and then gently come back down to Uttanasana, put your hands on the floor, roll over your toes, and come back down to kneeling. And I'll do that 4 to 5 times during a practice. And I'll do that to ensure that they have the balance between strength and flexibility. Now, the other thing I think is really useful is if you roll over your feet, so you come into Malasana, squat pose. Now, initially, you might find that the feet want to go outwardly to the side, and that's fine. If that's where you're at, that's fine. What you want to do is start bringing them in so that the feet themselves become parallel like that. And that indicates that your back's in balance relative to your knee, or your lower back's in balance relative to your knees as well. And again, from here, if you bring your hands to the center, push down so you can stand up, and then gently come back down to the squat. But all of the time, keep your heels down and flat on the floor. Then if we look at balancing them off, so once you've done some exercise like that to make sure they're okay, have the width of your fist between your ankles, push the balls of the feet together, push them away, and then lift your pelvis up as you push down. And what that does is it balances off the anterior and external tibialis ligaments on either side of the knee itself. I would definitely do that one every day. Now, the last thing I want to look at is getting into lotus pose with your knees, again, to avoid any problems. Now, bear in mind, the knee joint only bends like this. You know, you can't drag your leg out to the side because the knee joint doesn't allow for that. So we need to use some clever manipulation. If I put my hand here down this side of the outside of the knee and support my foot, gently moving it back, the femur, that's at the top here, allows that movement to come in, and there's no strain into the knee at all. Now, I would suggest, to make this a healthy movement, line up your femurs so they're both pointing in the same direction. And then if you want, we bring this leg under, and that will give you your half lotus, and again, just ensure that the femurs are pointing the same way. Now, rather than dragging this leg up onto this thigh, move the lower foot forwards and then let the raised leg just find its balance on the top. Now, that's easily touching, so I can bring that forward again. And that might take you a couple of months or weeks, depending on your condition, to get there. But eventually, that knee will go to the floor and this foot will be free. So if, again, in the same way that I raised the first leg, I support the knee, I raise the foot, I gently bring it in, and I use my feet to grip against the thighs. And that protects the knees in that pose. But neither knee is under any condition where they're being strained or pulled or injured. I think for me, with respect to knees, and it's worth remembering, they need to last you your whole life. So really be mindful about them and don't force them. Oh, and the only other thing I want to add to that, when people kind of start bringing it up here to place behind their head, or they pull around and force, and then they wonder why their knees ache, remember, move the knee back so that when we come up to the shoulder, the same thing. The knee has this movement only. Don't injure yourself for the sake of trying to be more flexible. Anyway, I hope that helps. Hope you have no knee issues, and I'll see you on the mat very soon.